In this lesson, we'll learn about different Cisco IOS Most and how to use Cisco CLI to access these most. We'll learn about the following topics in this lesson. First of all, we talk about Cisco IOS Most. Then we will learn more detail about user mode, privilege mode, and configuration modes. To have a better understanding, we will have a practice section with a real Cisco device to access Cisco IOS Most from the CLI. Then we sum up our lesson with the keynotes. As you may know, Cisco IOS has several modes of access. Each mode provides us with permission to perform certain actions to the device. Each mode allows us to access to a set of commands in Cisco CLI to interact with Cisco IOS. Here is a screenshot of Cisco CLI where I gained the access to the device via the console and went back and forth among different Cisco IOS modes. We will learn more about those modes in the next slides. The very first mode that we can gain access in the iOS of a Cisco device is the user mode. User mode is the read-only mode which allows us to view certain configurations of a Cisco device. We cannot make or save any change to a Cisco device in user mode. From user mode, we can gain access to the privilege mode. Here we are at the console of a device named router. This is a device name. It doesn't tell us the types of device. It can be a switch, it can be a router. And this symbol shows us that we are in the user mode. In order to gain access to the privilege mode, we need to issue the command enable and hit enter. This symbol shows us that we are now at the privilege mode. In order to get back to the user mode, we need to issue the command disable and hit enter. And now we are back again at the user mode. Let's learn about privilege mode. Privilege mode is the read-write mode which allows us to perform certain actions on a Cisco device. In privilege mode, we can save or delete a Cisco device configuration. We can also perform certain settings such as setting buffer size or setting clock, but we cannot configure the device. From the privilege mode, we can gain access to the configuration mode. Here we are at the console of a device named router. This symbol shows us that we are at the privilege mode. In order to gain access to the configuration mode, we need to issue the command configure T or configure terminal, then hit enter. Now this symbol shows that we are in the configuration mode. In order to get back to the privilege mode, we need to issue the command exit and hit enter. And we're back again to the privilege mode. From the privilege mode, we can gain access to the global configuration mode. Global configuration mode provides commands to change the system's configuration. From global configuration mode, we can enter many other specific configuration modes, such as interface configuration mode, which provides commands to change the configuration of a specific interface, or line configuration mode, which provides commands to configure access to a Cisco device via console or telnet. Here we are at the console of a device named router. This symbol shows that we are in the configuration mode. In order to perform the configuration for the interface F00, we need to issue the command interface F00 and hit enter. Now we are in the interface configuration mode for the interface F00. So we can perform all the configuration for the interface F00. In order to get back to the configuration mode, we need to issue the command and then hit enter. In this case, we can also issue the command exit or hit Ctrl Z. It will get us back to the configuration mode. Let's assume we are in user mode. In order to gain access to privilege mode, we need to issue the command enable. From privilege mode to access global configuration mode, we need to issue the command configure terminal. Now from the global configuration mode, if we want to perform the configuration for a specific interface, then we need to issue the command interface and specify the name of the interface. It will bring us to the interface configuration mode, and we can perform the configuration for that specific interface. Also, from global configuration mode, if we want to configure access for a specific line, we need to issue the command line and specify the name and the number of the line. Then it will bring us to the line configuration, and we can perform all the configuration for that line. Now from the interface configuration or line configuration, if we want to get back to the global configuration mode, we need to issue the command exit. From global configuration mode, if we want to get back to the privilege mode, we need to issue the command N or exit, or even press Ctrl Z. It will bring us back to the privilege mode. At any mode like interface configuration, line configuration, or global configuration, we can enter the command N to get back to the privilege mode. From privilege mode, if we want to get back to the user mode, we need to issue the command disable. Let's practice with a real Cisco device. In this practice, we will get back and forth among different Cisco IOS Most using Cisco CLI. As you can see, we are in the user mode of the host name Telnet client. In order to access the privilege mode, we need to issue the command enable, then hit enter. Now we are in the privilege mode. Let's go to the configuration mode by issue the command configure T. As you can see, it brings us to the configuration mode. Let's perform the configuration for the interface F00. So we need to issue the command interface F00, then hit enter. In this case, we just X out of the interface configuration mode by issue the command exit. Then now let's get into the line console 0. So we need to issue the command line console 0 and hit enter. Now X out of the line configuration mode by issue the command exit. Let's perform the configuration for the VTI line. So we need to issue the command line VTI, and in this case we will configure for the VTI number 1. So let's X out of the line configuration mode by issue the command access. Now, in order to get back to the privilege mode, then we need to issue the command end, and now we are back in the privilege mode. Let's get back to the user mode by issue the command disable. Let's read the keynotes by yourself to finish this lesson.